Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? The sound I made is how autism started for me in my life. I gave this to my nephew Michael, thinking that it was going to be the greatest uncle in the world. And what I did was really destroy the quality of life of my brother and his wife. It's a cigar box, and it's exactly what I did. I taped it up, put rocks in it. I knew everybody's going to be giving Michael gifts that he could not appreciate. It's early days of autism, 1992. He was born on New Year's Eve. And there I was, feeling like a fool because I didn't realize it until months later when I was told, can't believe you did this. Michael is now 35 years old. He's my brother's second child. And Michael is nothing like the person in the book. He's severely autistic, meaning he'll never be able to hold a job or live on his own in any way or form. The boy in the book obviously is a fictional story of all the antics that I saw of him growing up and the things he would do. Now back then it was an autistic child per 1,000. And it was kind of rare, nobody really knew. But my brother and his wife, one being an attorney and my other brother obviously affected, he got very involved in the National Association of Autistic Research and brought the best doctors to the University of Miami called the CARD Center. Together they created what we know today as Autism Speaks. So that day came when I was doing a kids show. And for some reason, there was something that they did in the show that really inspired me to, I don't know, go look for this story that I wrote a decade earlier. I was like, well, first of all, it was floppy disk days, so even if I did find it, it would be a floppy, now what do I do with it? So I dreaded that reality, but I went looking for it. I already had moved 3 times since I wrote it. Lo and behold, you won't believe it, I had printed it. And it was just in a bunch of papers. So I took it to the studio, the next show. And since they were minors, they went to rent some evidence. The parent always had to be sitting in the studio with me under video rules. She always had to have the adult in the room. So I knew she, from years before when she was single, her name is Anabela Sosa. I wish she would have been here today. And something magical happened. I started tearing up reading this story because I really couldn't believe how good it was. I go, wow, I wrote this a long time ago. And I turned to her because she was a producer of cartoons. And I knew that about her career. So I didn't say anything to her. She was just sitting on the couch. The show was already over. It was like downtime between the party. So I go, can I read this to you? Tell me if I should make any changes to it. I want to hear what you said. I'm really directing my comments at the mom who's sitting on the couch. The kids are like, they thought it was great. But I couldn't help, but unfortunately I teared up in this one moment in the book that I will not tell you about. You have to read it for yourself. But I kind of was a little embarrassed because, what can I tell you? She stands up and comes to the radio table, looks right me dead in the eye. Look what you've done to me. And her eyes were all watery. She goes, this has to become a book. And I go, and then a cartoon? And she cracks up. And lo and behold, when her cartoon comes out, I'm so blown by this cartoon because one of the characters in the cartoon, by total coincidence, because the cartoon was produced years before even doing the radio, was my character from my book. That's God's incident. That's why I built Blink Radio. It can only be those things. My brother built the first charter school for autism. It's called the South Florida Autistic Charter School. He's somewhat removed from it now because you have to let other parents get involved in the schooling. And Michael's already 35 years old, so they actually built an after graduation program to try to keep some of these kids' abilities to hold a job. The other boy in the book is Anello. When I was married, my son-in-law was a little boy named Anello, who was also severely autistic. on my wife's side of the family, so I included him as the brother who needles Michael, reminding him of autistic he is. But the underlying message is simply that pestering is actually Asperger's.
Oh, wow.
Is he really like just bothering his brother, or he just compulsive about it? Was one of the really cool realities you get when you understand autism. It's really peculiar how a person like Elon can go to the moon, can be born on Earth and then wish to die on Mars. That's quite extraordinary. Then you have people who are like Michael on the other side of the spectrum, who when they call a spectrum, it's actually a dartboard. The closer you are to the center of it, sorry, I keep on moving my hand here. Thank God I'm not doing the cute thing, It's just my hand. I gotta keep myself to the microphone. The dartboard is the closer you're in the middle, the less functional you are in society. And the saddest part of that is that your parents know they're gonna leave you behind. They know they're gonna outlive you. So there's a negative effect of that, which is why I wrote the book. I wrote this for the siblings of children with autism, the brothers and sisters. Why? Because one will always curtail their lives around, I'm going to be taking care of my brother, I'm going to be taking care of my sister. So that's when I realized that the book had to come out as a picture book. And lo and behold, her producer of the cartoon named Coti, you can see it is on Netflix, Sofia Vergara is my character, and it's her voice. So if that wasn't godsend enough, that you can just see that this had to happen, and that illustrator is my illustrator of this book. So he gave his time. We did this through WhatsApp. I still haven't met him. He was in Argentina. And Annabella's son really created the framework of what my words and the pictures that were going to represent my words. So he is the editor that you see in the book. So with all that said and done, I pretty much told you what were my heartstrings for doing this. I could not possibly, expect this type of enthusiasm. I really thank you for caring, because it is going to be a tremendous world tomorrow when we've all passed away and these people are now grown adults. There's so much that we know today about autism that we didn't know in 1992 when this all started. So what became a box of rocks became this box of rocks. So give you an idea of the Cuban culture, autism, the peculiarity of autism, the relationship of grandma with her child. Because grandma's like new to autism too. So it's got the hoop earrings, the frijoles. It's a Friday night. So the bell rings, 3 in the afternoon. This is Mrs. Natelsky. Bell's ringing, so you can imagine. The dismissal bell rings, and it's time to leave Mrs. Natelsky's 6th grade class. Ms. Natelsky dismisses her class row by row. Row number 1, sorry. Row number 3, you're dismissed. Push your chairs in, she says out loud in a raspy voice. Row number 2, you're dismissed. Row number 1, you're dismissed. As she moves closer to Michael and leans over him, she whispers, "Michael, I need to see you before you leave." Boy, have I heard that one before. "Michael, please give this envelope to your parents. Inside this envelope is a very important letter for them. Please ask them to sign it and return it on Monday, okay?" "Yes, Mr. Natelsky," answers Michael in a very timid voice. "Did I do something wrong today? I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I swear I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to hurt it." Mr. Natelsky replies, No, Michael. Now remember, do not open this." Running down the hall with his heavy backpack was his brother, Anello. "Come on, it's raining, Abuela. Abuela is waiting for us outside." And they high-five each other. And my mom used to always say, look at the beautiful side of things. When you really think about it, autism is God's perfect children because they're incapable of sin. Think about that. Children with autism are God's perfect children because they're incapable of sin.